Hey everybody, and welcome to this special on Pluto going direct. So this year on the 2nd of May, Pluto went retrograde. Then on the 12th of October, it goes direct right up until the 4th of May 2025, when it goes retrograde again. Then it enters out of bounds on the 28th of August in 2025, and then next year on the 14th of October, that's when it goes direct again. So yeah, Pluto goes retrograde about once every year. So I'm just going to do a deep dive, as I do, as you know, into all the possible meanings. Yeah. Okay, so Pluto going direct from retrograde in astrology. Pluto is known for its association with the underworld, death, rebirth, the things we like to keep hidden in society, taboo subjects, so like sex, repressed memories, all forms of abuse, trauma, the things that we like to keep hidden basically. And Pluto esoterically in astrology rules the 12th house. So the 12th house in astrology is normally associated with, secrets, the things we keep buried and hidden memories, and repressed memories, that is as well. So Pluto ruling this house, co-ruling it esoterically, shows us that this house and Pluto effects on our life go deep, and whatever Pluto touches, it's meant to transform. So Pluto going direct is a time of empowerment. Pluto is associated, as I said, with intense changes, going deep, and now we have the energy after going deep, what we was meant to do when Pluto was retrograde, and thinking and reflecting on our traumas, our repressions, whether they be sexual repressions or any other secrets and stuff. Now is the time to take action. So for some of you, this may be seeking therapy. For others, it may be letting relationships go or planning to let relationship goes. It wants us to be more open and assertive with our transformation right now, and by being proactive and taking the action that we need to take, this can bring a sense of release and renewal, as it encourages us to confront our innermost desires and fears and release our fears, or start or continue the work of doing so, and looking into healthy ways to express our desires. Some of you may have sexual kinks that you may be embarrassed of, and now is the time to start thinking of how you can explore them and express them in healthy ways. A lot of the time we don't explore certain things that are seen as taboo because we don't want to be ridiculed by our friends, family, or even ourselves. We can be filled with shame and guilt. So now is the time to work through all those emotions openly by doing research, seeking out help from like a therapist or other people that can help you get over and deal with your trauma or repressions. And ultimately it wants us to step into our power with more confidence and let go of what no longer serves us. And by doing this, although it can be intentional, getting outside of our comfort zone, we can open the way for more self-discovery and empowerment. So this year, when Pluto goes direct from retrograde, it does so in the 6th degree of Capricorn, which I'm going to go a bit more in depth about the Sabian symbology later on. But now I'm just going to talk a bit about the esoteric, occult, hidden meanings of this energy. So the 6th degree of Capricorn rules the right adductor muscle in our bodies, and it's associated with the Sabian symbology of a dark archway and 10 logs at the bottom. So esoterically, it wants us to be open to regeneration and confront the hidden aspects of our psyche, and it wants us to take direct action, as I said, to make the changes that Pluto retrograde brought to our attention, such as transforming your relationships, career, or belief systems. And because, Capricorn energy is all its cardinal earth energy, so it's all about taking care of our material needs as well as our, overall well-being, bringing more structure and discipline and being more accountable and taking responsibility for, managing our traumas and the direction our life is going. And it wants us to make significant changes in how we approach our duties and our obligations as well. And the association with the right abductor muscle wants us to look after our sort of like leg health, but also our stability, support systems, and bring our life in balance by looking after our emotional, spiritual, psychological and physical needs. Looking after our emotional lives in the right ways can come to the forefront of our attention. And the Sabian symbol of a dark archway and the 10 logs at the bottom symbolises, a passage through darkness. So Pluto retrograde could have been a very dark time for you, but it's whatever you uncovered there is trying to lead you towards greater stability and security in your life. And it just reminds us that growth often, and it does, requires us to confront our shadows before we can emerge into the light. So we must experience those dark nights of the soul so we can come out into our light. And having gone through many dark nights of the soul, I can vouch for that. So before I go in depth about Pluto going direct, as I like to do, I'm just going to give you the summary version for those who like the summary version. So positively, it can bring about a sense of empowerment, transformation and renewal. As I said, it's a time to let go of beliefs and patterns that no longer serve us and embrace new ways of being and being self-reflective and pushing towards personal growth and towards expressing your true desires and passions and yourself, expressing authentically in healthy ways. But negatively, because it can stir up intense emotions, power struggles and feelings of control or lack of control, it can bring hidden issues or secrets to light that need to be addressed, and this can lead to challenging confrontations with ourselves and others, but it can also lead to transformations that are powerful. So it's essential to navigate this energy with self-awareness and reflection to make the most of this cosmic shift. And the best way to use the direct motion of transit Pluto going sort of like direct, as I said, is to face fears head on and commit to personal evolution. And this is the ideal time for shedding old skin, releasing emotional baggage and stepping into your power with authenticity and courage, and just dare to transform. Now I'm going to talk more about the astrological meanings, the practical, financial, political and worldly, materialistic and social collective meanings of Pluto direct. So it's going to be direct for about 7-ish months before it goes retrograde again in May 2025. So we've got 7 months to work on everything that we've just learned from the previous Pluto retrograde. So during Pluto direct, we are going to confront, and I'm speaking it into existence, our problems head on. And this is how we can make the most of this energy, by taking practical daily steps, not rushing, doing it gently as you need. Some of you do it more quicker than others. Also, we can reflect on the personal power dynamics in our life and embracing change, letting go of what no longer serves us, and focus on building inner strength and resilience, and exploring ourselves on those psychological, emotional and spiritual levels, doing things to promote personal growth and inner stability, meditation, tai chi, yoga, listening to music, screaming, jumping, dancing, journaling or therapy. Whatever method you choose can be beneficial for you to do over the next several months. Pluto's in retrograde to help you understand your emotions and process all you need to. Also, Pluto going direct can sort of like highlight issues surrounding control, authority, and the capacity for transformation within our communities and families and relationships. Some of you may feel an urge to, engage in activism or reform, doing volunteer work, starting your own social enterprise, something like that. But I'll talk a bit more about that later. Some of you may become more aware of systematic issues that require change, inadequacies in the healthcare, educational system, stuff like that. And by recognising these transformative energies, this can inspire you to take bold actions that align with your authentic values. So this is taking the shift from conforming and living up to society's expectations and thinking, well, everybody else don't care, why should I? And, do all you can to create more equality in your relationships, in your community and society at large for some of you. And by being open to transformation and willing to evolve, to change, to transcend, you can use the energy of Pluto direct to make positive changes in your life and move towards greater self-realization, acceptance and love. So on the financial level, it's a time to recalibrate our, finances and reassess our values and priorities. And we may find that opportunities come up to confront long-standing financial fears or patterns, pushing you to take more empowering decisions regarding your resources, whether it be your time, energy or money. It can lead to a realization of your true worth, both personally and professionally, pushing you to negotiate better terms in contracts, employments, or seek investments that align with your deeper aspirations. Some of you may have been holding you back. A lot of us say, I could never be a CEO, I could never do this or that, I could never start my own business. So we, sort of limit our own abundance. So this energy wants us to align with deeper aspirations and do what we need to do to reach the highest potential, and believe in yourself and your ability. You may lack skills, you can learn new skills. Pluto's all about transformation and it's outward now, directing its influence outward. So now is the time to take those slow and steady steps to sort out your finances and also your mindset around your ability to increase your value financially, or your ability to say no to anything that's draining your time and energy as well, because a lot of the time we're in toxic relationships that can drain our energy, so we don't have time to focus on building more financial security in our life and stuff like that. Additionally, Pluto going direct can sort of like reveal hidden financial dynamics that have been lurking beneath the surface, such as debt or unrecognized assets for some of you. So some of you, if you're in a partnership, you may discover debt, or you may have debt that you know that you have but you've been running away from it, and now this energy wants you to confront it, and go and seek help, a debt advisor, taking steady steps to pay off your debts. I know it's scary, but it's more better to face problems head on rather than ignore them as they just get worse. In terms of unrecognized assets, I don't know, some of you may find a book or some jewelry, or I don't know, some money laying somewhere, or talents within you, whether you're good at copywriting, writing poetry, editing, creating songs, or you've got entrepreneurial spirit in you that you never even knew. It doesn't always have to be money that you found. You may find a hidden talent within you that you can use in the internal world to improve your finances or your emotional, psychological well-being. And as you become aware of these hidden things and take decisive action to cultivate, develop a more sustainable financial future, you can find more inner peace. Ultimately, it's a time of transformation, and it may involve you cutting ties with toxic financial influences, or the ways that you may waste money in addictive behaviours. And this isn't about saving. You can get help for those, or slowly spend less and less on addictive substances, or some of you may be addicted to streaming services and stuff like that. Whatever your addiction are, you can slowly take bold steps towards wealth building and evolving your identity as a person and believing in your own ability to change your life on the financial level. Collectively, innovative financial initiatives such as sustainable investments or community-based economic models may gain traction, and this can further increase the potential for growth and prosperity. So people may be more willing to lend in your community rather than you having to go to payday loan people or credit lenders and stuff, or family member or something. Someone may give you money or something like that. Or again, you may decide that I'm going to take accountability, and you may start a side hustle. And don't think, everyone else is doing it. People are creating and ending side hustles all the time. There's always room for you and your niche, so never give up on yourself, or never think, someone else is doing it, so I cannot. You can, if you're willing to, do the hard work. They say it takes 3 to 9 years to, build something from scratch. So, it may take time, but, in 9 years' time, if you're, still alive, which I hope you all are, you can either have been working on improving your life or not, but the truth is that you're still going to be alive. So it's whether you're going to invest in yourself, because sometimes that's what we need to do. On the political level, governments and nations may examine how authority is used and challenged, and leaders that have a desire for reforming corrupt systems and transforming governments may rise to power, and there can be a collective push for greater accountability. And we're seeing this already, and transparency in political systems as established norms are questioned and redefined. And we are seeing more and more the shifts going on globally, especially in the Western world, and the sort of all sorts of governmental structures are seemingly being questioned and are collapsing more and more day and day, and people are questioning. Social movements can gain momentum that are pushing for more justice and equality, and looking more after the environment rather than large corporations' needs, because a lot of the time governments have been favouring large corporations over the needs of the individual citizen. And this energy encourages us to take a more active role in these decisions, pushing us to reflect on how our values align with the evolving political climate. And as nations grapple with their identities and responsibilities, we can feel inspired to advocate for change, as I said earlier, whether it's through grassroots initiatives or by engaging with the larger political frameworks. So some of you may decide to run for local government or interact more with local government to bring about changes, or work in your families and communities to go as a collective to governments to initiate change and push for change. There can be safety in numbers sort of thing. So ultimately, Pluto going direct is a pivotal time for reshaping the future, and it draws attention to how governments can reflect the collective will and vision of the people, and it calls for us to take a stance and not just scream at our televisions or podcasts or in our pubs or other social spaces and never do anything about it. It's asking us to take action, not only in our own personal transformation, but also in the transformation of the global community at large. So as I said, socially it catalyses a wave of social reform and collective empowerment, and as I said, grassroots movements can gain a lot of traction, and individuals, as I said, can come together to address long-standing issues such as inequality, social justice and environmental concerns. It brings a renewed sense of community engagement and spirit, prompting us all to be more active in local initiatives and have more discussions that aim to reshape societal norms and values. And it just encourages us to be more self-reflective within social groups and organisations. Sometimes a lot of this activism has been going out of hand because violence is being used, and yes, we must get our voices heard, but sometimes what I've seen with a lot of activism nowadays, it's more focused on the violence that took place rather than the message that the movement's trying to get across. So this self-reflection can be really good to make sure you stay in focus and you're getting your message across in a healthy way. And the pen can be mightier than the sword, and this energy wants us to be more sort of like look for more inclusive practices and dismantle systematic barriers and promote more diversity. And it can create a climate where open dialogues, conversations about previous taboo topics become commonplace, allowing for collective healing and progress. And embracing these changes can empower us to play an integral role in creating a more equal and resilient community. And this is what we need. We need more balance, and to get more external balance we need to build our internal resilience, and we do that by addressing our psychological, emotional and spiritual wounds. So on the worldly materialistic level, it wants us to sort of like find more financial stability, as I said, and pursue new ventures, investments and careers, and to go after tangible success and prosperity. So if we're taking actions to bring more money in the bank, but not in an artificial or superficial way is the word that I'm looking for, searching for, but in a way that provides for all you and your family's needs, and in an ethical way as well. And we can feel ourselves more drawn to opportunities that not only promise personal gain but also contribute to broader economic success. And by taking a proactive approach to our financial goals, we can set the stage for potential rewards that can increase our material comfort and security. Ultimately, on the worldly material level, it wants us to reevaluate our relationship with material possessions and wealth. It's an excellent time to consider how our material sort of like pursuits align with our values and life purpose, engaging in mindful consumption, only buying what we need, not wasting, buying second-hand use. I know some people have aversion to second-hand goods, but if you want to save the environment, buying second-hand, as long as it's quality and it is of use, is a good way. And this can create a balance between our personal ambitions and needs and wants and ethical considerations. And this can lead to a deeper sense of fulfillment, because you're like, I'm doing my bit to help the environment and also to save myself some money as well, so I have enough money put away in my savings just in case I need it. And you may also feel inspired to share your resources or knowledge with others, creating a sense of community while building your own material foundation. So now I'm going to talk about the psychological, spiritual, more about the esoteric hidden meanings, the symbolic, creative and emotional meanings of Pluto Direct. So it catalyses the unveiling of repressed emotions, allowing us to confront and integrate aspects of ourselves that were previously hidden, the sides of us that we would have been revealed to us when Pluto was in retrograde. Introspection, self-reflection becomes essential, as well as positive action. as it drives us to reassess our personal power and the ways in which we relate to the deepest part of ourselves, especially our fears and desires. And although this process can be daunting, scary, it ultimately leads to a greater sense of authenticity and empowerment. On a spiritual level, these transformations encourage us to explore the darker facets, the shadow nature of existence and our own existence, pushing us for healing and renewal. It increases our awareness, especially the awareness of the cyclical nature of life, the circles, like the seasons have, the spring, summer, autumn and winter. We have our seasons that repeat in our life cycles as well. We may notice an increase of spiritual awakenings and insights that emerge from deep within us at this time as well, because remember, spiritual awakening is not just a one-time thing, it's a many-time thing, having been through quite through. And this is not to be egotistical, it's just that I've noticed that a lot of the time we think that we should arrive, but we're always journaling. There's levels and levels and levels to this stuff. Even when we learn a lesson, it can repeat, and we can, not only relearn what we know, but also learn something new on a deeper level as well. And this can lead to more clarity about your life's purpose, and also more clarity about the interconnectedness of all your life experiences and all our collective experiences as human beings. We all go through grief, loss and heartbreak. We have similar things that happen to us. We all have some form of trauma. Some people have less trauma, some people don't, but from my life experience, I believe at least 90% of the world has trauma, so that's almost all of us, right? So as the layers of illusion peel away, we can find ourselves connecting with higher states of consciousness, and this can lead to moments of epiphanies that challenge our previous beliefs and values, and this can inspire us to look deeper within ourselves for truth, creating a desire for spiritual growth and understanding. And it encourages us to embrace our intuition and the guidance it offers. And I know when we experience mental illnesses and emotional upheaval, it can be hard to trust our intuition. So for some of you, it's best not to, because your intuition could tell you scary stuff, after doing research and listening to podcasts where people have talked about how their mental illnesses and stuff. So if you can't trust your intuition, maybe rely on your logic or seek out therapy or work through those emotional, psychological and spiritual baggage, because as you do this, the more clearer you will be able to hear that small still voice, which I can vouch leads you to your highest potential. And as you feel increased alignment with your inner wisdom, which is pushing you to trust your instincts as you navigate life challenges, and the revelations that come up at this period can serve as a catalyst for transformation, pushing you to align with your actions, which can involve your understanding of yourself and the universe. And by embracing this transformational energy, it can guide you toward a more enlightened perspective, creating a sense of inner resilience, forgiveness, love, respect and acceptance and purpose as you navigate the complexities of your inner world. And ultimately, this journey allows you to step into a more authentic version of yourself, enriched by newfound spiritual insights and a profound sense of connection to a greater whole. Now I'm going to talk a bit more about the hidden esoteric truths and revelations that can come up. So this phase encourages us to dig deep into mythical philosophy, so maybe researching the myth of Hades and the underworld and Persephone, the high priestess, and other symbology which is related to Pluto energy, and digging into ancient wisdom and the symbology that permeates our human experiences. And by engaging with these esoteric teachings, this can illuminate aspects of your life life that have remained in the shadows, revealing patterns and connections that increase your understanding of reality. And this process can be both challenging but also liberating as you confront truths that may disrupt your established worldview. In this transformative journey, you may find connections with spiritual and astrological archetypes, realizing that these symbols hold significant meaning for your personal evolution, and embracing and working with these revelations, whether it be through dreams, waking visions, even nightmares. For some of you, you can, if you're willing to work with the energies that come up, these can empower you and lead you to transcend limiting beliefs and embrace a more expansive perspective on existence and your life and the themes of your life. And this newfound awareness not only enriches your spiritual practice but also motivates you to share your insights with others that you can trust, and this can create a deeper community understanding of the esoteric dimensions of life. So talking more about the symbology and how it can infuse our lives with creativity. As I said, Pluto is the planet of transformation and rebirth and is associated with symbols like the phoenix rising from its ashes, the snake shedding its skin, and the underworld. And these symbols can help us navigate periods of intense change and emerge stronger on the other side. And Pluto going direct wants us to express our emotions and insights through writing, visual arts or performance, and these symbolic expressions can become a conduit, the snake shedding its skin, us letting go of the toxicity in our life and daring to bring about our authentic self out of the shadows and be who we truly are, and discover more aspects of ourselves and learn to love the weaknesses as well as the strengths that come out through this introspection, and us taking chances to sort of transform our lives. And as we explore your unique narrative, because each of us have a narrative of our life, we can become more in tune with ourselves and be more self-confident as well. And additionally, as we integrate symbolic creativity into our daily routine, we can begin to view challenges as opportunities for creative problem solving, and this energy encourages us to see the beauty in the mundane, and it inspires innovative approaches to life's complexities as well. And by cultivating awareness of the symbols that resonate with you, so you don't just have to work with these symbols, you can go out there, use tarot cards or Google other symbologies of different people from myths, like Medusa even, or Pandora's box, stuff like that resonate with you. You can create a more meaningful and intentional resistance, transforming ordinary moments into profound reflections of your inner world. And ultimately, on the emotional level, it's a time for healing and to confront our unresolved feelings and past traumas. By acknowledging our emotions, we can create space for understanding and acceptance, which are essential for growth. And this process requires us to sit with discomfort, allowing ourselves to fully experience and process our feelings rather than suppress them. And as we confront our emotions, we may feel like, I was once overwhelmed by them, but they can gradually become more manageable. And this can unveil insights that lead to profound self-discovery and personal evolution. And by recognizing growth opportunities within our emotional landscape, this can empower you to embrace vulnerability as a powerful catalyst for change. And each experience, whether joyful or painful, can serve as a teacher, guiding us towards deeper self-awareness and empathy. And by reflecting on your emotional journey, we can identify patterns and behaviours that no longer serve us, making the way for healthier relationships and a more authentic existence. And ultimately, this acknowledgement not only nurtures our own healing, but can also inspire those around you, creating a collective environment of support and growth, as I said earlier. So now I'm going to talk about the aspects that Pluto's making this year when it goes into direct out of retrograde, and how they influence this year's Pluto going direct, and how they will influence Pluto being direct up until May 2025, so the next 7 months. So all these aspects will influence Pluto's energy as the months go on. So the first aspects are the Moon conjunct Pluto and Mercury square Pluto. The Moon conjunct Pluto is separating at 4.54 degrees, and Mercury square Pluto is applying at 2.31 degrees. So the Moon in conjunction with Pluto, so Pluto's going direct, increases our emotional intensity and deeper connection to our subconscious over the next 7 months. It supports us to have transformative feelings, so although we may feel things we don't want to, they're pushing us to confront our hidden fears and desires, and this is what Pluto going direct is all about. And we may find ourselves reflecting on power dynamics in our relationships, and again it supports us in being more authentic and vulnerable. Mercury square to Pluto brings tension in our communication. We can feel compelled to dig deeper into conversations, and this may put some people off, and it can also lead to power struggles and misunderstandings, and this aspect can increase our instinct for uncovering truths, but it may also create an atmosphere where discussions may become overly intense or confrontational. And because Mercury is applying in this energy, it's important to navigate our relationships and what we say and our actions with care, ensuring that the desire for truth doesn't override the need for constructive dialogue and conversations. And by balancing these energies, this can lead to meaningful breakthroughs if handled thoughtfully. Saturn also makes a semi-square to Pluto, and this is separating at 0.57 degrees, and Uranus also makes a trine to Pluto, and this is 3.02 separating. So the semi-square between Saturn and Pluto adds to the tension as we navigate the boundaries between authority and transformation. We can find ourselves struggling with limitations or obstacles that challenge our ambitions, and this aspect encourages us to confront any fears around power and control, pushing us to reassess our goals and strategies. And it's really important to recognise where our responsibilities lie and how they intersect with our desire for change as well. And we need to develop patience and perseverance, understanding that progress may require overcoming significant hurdles, and I can vouch for that. If you want to change, you will have to sacrifice some things. There will be resistance. People don't like it when we change. We don't like it when we change, really. We love our comfort zone. It's so much easier there. We know it. The unknown, it's scary. We don't know it, so that's why we resist it. So yeah, we may get internal and external resistance, and the trine between Uranus and Pluto is harmonious energy, so it really helps us with empowering ourselves, having innovative breakthroughs, and supports our willingness to embrace change and explore new ideas. And it can encourage our capacity to involve circumstances, and we can feel an increased energy to go after unconventional paths and liberate ourselves from restrictive situations. And as we integrate these energies, the combination of the semi-square and trine can lead to a dynamic interplay between the need for stability and the desire for re-evolution and evolution, pushing you to find a balanced approach to achieving your ambitions and goals right now. Also, we have Neptune making a sextile to Pluto. This is ongoing, but right now it's at a 1.41 separating orb, and Pluto is making a square to the midhaven, and this is separating as well at 1.24. So again, this increases our ability to access deeper emotional and spiritual insights and allow us to explore transformative experiences with a sense of intuition and creativity. It encourages us to connect with our inner self and facilitate personal growth and the potential for profound change. And we can find that our dreams and visions take on a greater significance, motivating us to pursue our goals that resonate with our true aspirations. And as we tap into this energy, we can navigate the complexities of our inner world and create resilience and a more profound understanding of our life's direction. The square between Pluto and the midheaven can bring challenges to our career ambitions and public image right now, as it amplifies the power struggles and conflicts that can come up at this time with authority figures, prompting us to reassess our professional goals and structures that support them. And we may feel pressured to assert our ambitions, which can lead to confrontations if handled with care. And even if we don't assert ourselves, as I said, people don't like it when we change, so we may face resistance. So we need to build that inner resilience and make sure that what you're doing is what you want, and be prepared to go through the storms, But if we balance the transformative energy of Pluto with the demands of our public life, we can align the needs of our personal professional lives and with our need for personal evolution, and go after what we want while also respecting other people's needs, and also knowing that we're going to face resistance, because a lot of the time we think everyone's going to be happy for us. No, sometimes your change can make people feel inadequate by the very fact that you're changing, and it makes them aware of the ways that they don't change, and they can feel kind of undermined just by your daily efforts. So a lot of the time you have to build the energy of not taking things personally, because people can come up at you and say nasty words, and this can make you feel deflated. This is why we have to build that inner resilience and self-worth and love, and don't get it twisted wrong. We can have all the self-love in the world, but if we're a feeling person, we're always going to feel. But if people reject us and stuff, but when we build that inner love and resistance and acceptance, we can navigate the external challenges better, which can be the difference between giving up on your life dreams completely, or getting upset but still being able to work towards your life dreams. So also at the time of Pluto going direct, there's 2 T-squares and 2 yards that are influencing us. So I'm going to talk about these in depth now. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about what a T-square is in astrology and the positives and negatives of a transiting T-square. So a T-square in astrology is when 3 or more planets. Normally some people count points. I will only count a point, such as the moon's north node, if it was like conjunct a planet like Venus at the same degree, something like that in a T-square. I wouldn't necessarily include it on its own. So a T-square is when 3 or more planets form a right-angled triangle in a transit chart, and this configuration involves 2 planets being involved each other, creating tension, and a 3rd planet squares both of the opposing planets, and this is why it's called like a T-square, because it looks like a T. And the positives of a transiting T-square include increased motivation for growth and change, opportunities for self-awareness and transformation, and the potential for breakthroughs in difficult situations. It can act as a catalyst for personal development and push us outside of our comfort zones. Negatively, we can struggle with decision making due to the conflicting energies. We can experience a heightened emotional intensity, leading to stress or anxiety and challenges in communication and our relationships. And it can also kind of bring eternal conflict to some of us as well, because of the external obstacles that come, or the internal thoughts of unresolved psychological, emotional and spiritual trauma that can come up. And dealing with these issues internally or externally that come up can require patience and resilience to overcome. So As I said, there's 2 T-squares happening as Pluto goes direct. The first involves Mercury in Libra, Pluto in Capricorn, and the midheaven in Aries, which are within a 20% orb. And the second involves Chiron in Pisces, Mars in Gemini, and the Sun in Virgo, and this is within a 34% orb. So the mutable T-square involving Mercury, Pluto, the midheaven in Aries, allows us to transform our professional and communicative sort of like areas of our life. It amplifies the energy of Pluto direct, wanting us to confront any unresolved issues, especially those revolving issues related to power dynamics and our public persona. Some of you may feel compelled to reassess your communication style and approach to authority, and it can sort of like bring deeper insights that are necessary for the changes you need to make. And it supports the, as I said, personal and professional evolution. And Mercury in Libra helps us to have these sensitive discussions and negotiations in a diplomatic way. And the tension that the T-square brings can lead to clarity, pushing you to voice your thoughts courageously, also being mindful of other people's perspectives, and this is very, very, very important. And as Pluto's energy aligns directly, this T-square encourages us to use its transformative influence productively, allowing yourself to emerge with renewed confidence and a clearer vision of your career goals. And these interplay of these planetary influences serve as a catalyst, change agent for growth and empowerment, potentially reshaping how we engage with our ambitions and communicate our goals in general. And the mutable T-square that features Chiron in Pisces, Mars in Gemini, and the Sun in Virgo introduces support for healing, action and self-expression, and it can highlight our vulnerabilities that we've been avoiding, particularly those surrounding emotional wounds around our communication issues and our self-worth and esteem. And Chiron in Pisces supports us in exploring deeper emotional truths, pushing us to confront any self-doubt or past trauma that can get in the way of our progress. Mars in Gemini sparks a desire for versatility and quick thinking, and this motivates us to articulate our feelings and ideas with more clarity. Meanwhile, the Sun in Virgo emphasizes the need for more clarity, rational thinking, precision and practicality, ensuring that our thoughts are grounded in reality. And ultimately, this T-square pushes us to take direct action and actively seek resolutions, and it sort of like reaffirms our ability to confront our challenges head on and to turn our obstacles into opportunities for growth. And this resulting tension or the overwhelming can inspire you to advocate, stand up for your needs and your authentic self, while also embracing the lessons that you learned from past experiences. So as I said, there are 2 yards also at the time of Pluto going direct. So the first yard involves Mercury in Libra, Neptune in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus, and these are within a 43% orb. And the second yard is between Chiron in Pisces, Venus in Libra and Jupiter in Taurus. So a transiting yard is also known as the finger of God in astrology, and this aspect is formed when 2 planets are sextile, so that's 60 degrees apart, and both of these planets make a quincunx, which is 150 degrees to a third planet. So 2 planets sextile, both of those planets make a quincunx to another third planet, or planets if that third planet is conjunct to another planet. So this creates a narrow egg-elongated triangle shape in the transiting chart, And a transiting yod can increase our awareness of our purpose or calling. It can give us opportunities for growth and transformation, and it's a potent energy that really allows us to break free from old patterns that no longer serve you, and or habits, so it can act as a cosmic push towards self-discovery and personal development, and this can lead to a deeper understanding of your true path in life. It can bring about unexpected blessings or connections that push you towards your goals. But negatively, it can sometimes be overwhelming energy, and confusing to understand all the push and pulls, because the quincunx is a struggle, so you push and pull. You've got two planets that are like, yeah, we love each other, and then they make this quincunx to the third planet and they're not loving each other as much anymore, so it requires us to confront deep-seated fears and insecurities, and it can be challenging and emotionally draining. It can also, as I said, be confusing, leading to uncertainty and doubt about our choices, and which direction should we go, and all of that as well. And also, the challenges triggered by a transiting yod can disrupt our existing routines and our relationships, and it can just cause internal turbulence and changes. And it's essential to approach this energy with an open mind and a willingness to embrace change as resisting transformation, whatever it is that comes up, at the time of the transiting yod, whatever comes to your attention. You may be like, oh no, I don't want to change, but resisting the change can just lead to extended feelings of discomfort and stagnation, just staying in the same old routine. So the yod's like, okay, I know this thing has been comforting, or these things, and maybe you needed these things at one stage in your life, but now it's time to let go and move on to something new. So yeah. So the first yod, involving Mercury in Libra, Neptune in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus, supports a sort of like dynamic flow of energy that wants us to rethink how we talk to other people in general and how other people talk to us, and also just reevaluate our relationships in general as well. It wants us to express our thoughts with fairness and assert our boundaries in healthy ways, and not let other people overstep our boundaries, but also not overstep other people's boundaries as well. Neptune's energy can add to the confusion and idealism. We can want to escape into our drug, alcohol, sex or any other addictions right now, not wanting to do the deep work and take the deep action Pluto Direct wants us to take right now as well. But it wants us to, go beyond the surface. It's 12th house energy, Neptune, so digging deep into our emotional, psychological and spiritual currents and wounds, and doing that hard work of facing them, because until we deal with them, they're going to always deal with us. And this is why we may think we're numbing ourselves to our addictions by substances or avoidance, but really we're just prolonging our self-healing, or we're just committing ourselves to living a life that's not really ours, just a life that is built on unresolved trauma. Uranus in Taurus brings us that stable and grounding energy to confront our issues, and also be open to new ideas and asserting our authentic values, going within ourselves, finding them and then being them. It encourages us to balance our desire for connection with the necessity of authenticity, avoiding people pleasing, living up to other people's expectations. It pushes us to embrace change in our communicative approaches, while also being mindful of our own emotional well-being, and also coming into our own, coming into our authentic selves. The second yod, with Chiron in Pisces, Venus in Libra and Jupiter in Taurus, wants us and supports us again with healing and growth within our relationships, and it highlights wounds regarding compassion and vulnerability, and it encourages us and supports us in addressing emotional barriers that get in the way of our capacity to connect genuinely with ourselves and others. And Venus in Libra reinforces the importance of balance and harmony in our relationships, especially the lifelong relationship you should be having with yourself. And Jupiter Jupiter in Taurus supports expansion and abundance in these areas, and as Pluto transitions out of retrograde, it pushes us forward to profound transformation and empowers us to confront past traumas and embrace a new way of having self-worth, especially, self-esteem and our abilities in our relationship to assert our needs, to respect other people's needs, but to go after what we want in our relationships as well, leaving toxic relationships behind, leaving the way we toxically sort of interact with ourselves behind as well. And together these yards create a powerful impetus, motivation for personal growth, pushing us to integrate healing, healthy communication and authentic self-expression to navigate our connections and our transformation within ourselves at this moment as well. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the Sabian degrees that influence this year's Pluto going direct and how they sort of like influence the whole 7 months Pluto is direct. So as I said, Pluto is in the 6th degree of Capricorn. The Sabian symbology is a dark archway and 10 logs at the bottom. The moon is in the 11th degree of Capricorn, which has the Sabian symbol. Pheasants display their brilliant colours on a vast lawn. So Pluto in the 6th degree of Capricorn symbolises a passage through which you must venture, representing the often daunting challenges that lead to personal growth. The 10 logs at the bottom suggest foundational change in your life, and indicating that, as you build upon these challenges, or build from, transform from these trials that will come up, and you confront the sadder aspects of your past. Doing so, as I said, can be overwhelming, but as you facilitate a deeper understanding of your strengths, push yourself to embrace change rather than shy away from it, you can really tap into hidden talent, hidden love, hidden confidence within yourself. And the moon in the 11th degree of Capricorn again emphasise the importance of true self-expression. The birds, the pheasants with their brilliant colours, it wants you to be, display your unique talents, be who you really are, showcase your individuality, particularly in environments where you may have felt restrictive before. And the contrast between the darker themes of Pluto and the vibrant presentation of the moon suggests a balance between introspection and outward expression, and by addressing your internal challenges, you create space for your true self to shine, and this harmonious interplay invites you to embody both the strength of overcoming obstacles and the joy of revealing your unique brilliance to the world. Also, Mercury is in the 3rd degree of Libra, which has the Sabian symbol, a dawn of a new day. Everything changed. And Uranus is in the 3rd degree of Taurus, which has the Sabian symbol, steps up to a lawn with blooming clover. So Mercury in the 3rd degree of Libra wants us to embrace a fresh perspective in our communication and relationships, as the aspects I talked about are also supporting us, the T-square and the 2 yards as well. So this supports us in changing our attitudes, getting deeper understanding. It pushes us and supports us to let go of outdated opinions and beliefs and welcome new opinions, ideas and beliefs. So you may find that discussions become more enlightening, revealing insights that can alter the course of your life. So this is a time to engage openly with others and find clarity and harmony and make way for meaningful connections. Uranus in the 3rd degree of Taurus, represented by the steps up to a lawn blooming with clover, as I said, emphasise the importance of progress and developing new beginnings in the material world. So supporting us with making change in our material wealth and managing our time and resources better, as I said earlier. And it brings stability and comfort, and as we thrive and take bold steps towards personal innovation, the blooming clover signifies abundance and luck. suggesting that the actions you take can yield unexpected rewards, and by balancing these energies it encourages us to remain flexible and use the transformative power of Mercury and the revolutionary spirit of Uranus to cultivate a more harmonious and fruitful life for yourself. Neptune is in the 4th degree of Pisces, which has the Sabian symbology, heavy traffic on a narrow isthmus linking two seasides, and the midheavens in the 7th degree of Pisces, which has the Sabian symbology and man successfully expressing himself in two realms at once. So the Sabian symbol for the 4th degree of Pisces supports us to navigate complex emotional, spiritual and psychological landscapes and our inner world, and to feel the interconnectedness of our goals, and we can feel an increase of urgency to bridge gaps in our personal and professional life, which can lead to both opportunities or frustration, because we may face resistance. We may want to make a toxic relationship healthy and the other party does not, so we may have to make a choice to leave. We may want more money from our job or promotion and there may not be one, and the boss may want you to stay but you may want to leave even though you're a bit loyal to the company, because you want to venture out into new spheres. You may feel scared to do so because you are used to your workplace and stuff like that. It wants us to find ourselves, find yourself. It also may, sort of like bring an influx of ideas and influences that challenge our focus right now and bring lots of distractions, so we can, it's Neptune energy here, so we can find it hard to stay grounded. But if we embrace this energy and prioritize what truly matters, because not all the ideas what you feel you want to do and experience right now are the best for you as well, so just choose your battles wisely, and the ideas and changes wisely, and make sure these are what you really want to do, but do not let indecisions hold you back as well. Also, the midheaven is at the 7th degree of Pisces, so this symbolises a man successfully expressing himself in two realms. So it's calling for us to to express ourselves in the spiritual level, psychological level and the material level as well. It wants us to be versatile and flexible. It wants us to achieve a balance between our personal ambitions and interpersonal relationships, and we may find that we do really well if we attempt to communicate effectively and develop new skills right now, and by doing this can increase our reputation and bring us success in our ventures right now. And if we embrace this duality, it can empower us to connect with diverse audiences and navigate various spheres of influence, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and recognition. So now I'm going to talk about the physical and overall health implications and the esoteric occult meanings of the Sabian degrees. So Pluto in the 6th degree of Capricorn and the Moon in the 11th degree of Capricorn. Pluto in the 6th degree, as I said, rules the right adductor muscle in our body, so it wants us to focus on strength and stability, as I said, and transforming our physical well-being. So it encourages us to examine how we use the right side of our brains and our leg in general, and getting into safe, making sure that we're working on our posture and our balance as well, and maybe thinking about how our lack of care to our right side of our bodies or the right side of our brain, our spirituality gets in the way of our overall balance and mobility. The adductor muscles play a crucial role in our ability to move with agility and control, so any tensions or weaknesses in this area could signal a deeper emotional or psychological issue that needs to be addressed. And Pluto's energy emphasizes regeneration and empowerment. You may find that working through any challenges related to this muscle can lead to significant personal growth and a stronger sense of self. The moon in the 11th degree of Capricorn rules the left circulate ligaments, and this invites us to reflect on the stability and integrity of our emotional connections, and the circulate ligaments are essential for maintaining knee stability, symbolising the need for secure foundations in our relationships and community, and looking after our knee health and our hip health in general, pelvic health as well. And as we navigate our social circles right now, we have to consider how they support us or not support us in our emotional sort of like stability, and how interactions affect your overall well-being, your peace of mind, your psychological stability as well, and your spiritual advancement as well. And it prompts us to strengthen these connections, allowing us to feel more grounded and empowered, but also to let go of the connections that are getting in the way of our overall well-being as well. Mercury in the 3rd degree of Libra and Uranus in the 3rd degree of Taurus. Mercury rules the 3rd degree, rules the adrenal glands, and these glands are vital for our body's stress response and overall vitality. So it encourages us to develop mindfulness, to do meditation and manage our stress and depression, anxiety and all other psychological imbalances in a healthy way for yourself. And not looking after our adrenal can lead to fatigue and emotional instability. So it wants us to, set healthy boundaries, healthy routines, healthy exercise, sleep routines, eating routines, and this can help us navigate life's challenges with greater resistance. Uranus rules the planets, and it wants us to explore how we communicate our desires and needs in relationships, as I said, and be more vocal about asserting ourselves. And it wants us also to look after our throat and oral health, and it can also, wants us to think about the ways that we're conflicted. Why don't you want to express yourself? Often, as I said earlier, we don't want to express ourselves and be authentic because of the fallout. People may not like us. We may have to learn to start telling people no, and when they're used to hearing yes all the time, but ultimately it wants us to, look after our physical and emotional health and the health of our throat, and, so doing things to unplug your sinuses, looking after your ears, researching exercises for those areas of your bodies can be really, really worthwhile as well. Neptune is in the 4th degree of Pisces, and the midheavens in the 7th degree of Pisces, and Neptune in the 4th degree rules the nerves of our foot, so it wants us to pay attention to emotional grounding and physical tension, and to sort of like ground ourselves by walking and being mindful and doing anything to connect with life in general. Esoterically, it wants us to get deeper in touch with our intuition and nurture the subtle signals that our body communicates, and by nurturing our left foot and our feet's health in general, we can have more stability and emotional equilibrium. The midheaven in the 7th degree of Pisces rules the ears in the human body, so it's about looking after our ear health, but also highlights the importance of listening not only to sounds around you but your inner voice guiding your directions. You may find that tuning into your auditory senses increases your relationships and communication skills politically in collaborative environments, and esoterically, this degree encourages you to embrace your intuitive insights and develop a heightened awareness of how you process information. And looking after any ear-related issues you have can make way for clearer understanding and connection with others, enriching both your personal and professional life. So just, it focuses on actively listening to ourselves and others as well. So now I'm going to talk about the karmic meanings and lessons and the past life memories and dreams that will come up, and the collective karma that may surface for us when Pluto goes direct. So the karmic lessons want us to pay attention to the themes of control, obsession, jealousy, revenge and rebirth in our life, and we may experience vivid dreams or flashbacks that connect to past life experiences, highlighting unresolved karmic debts or lessons that need addressing, and these revolutions can serve as catalysts for personal growth and self-empowerment. Collectively, Pluto going direct brings collective karma related to power dynamics, manipulation, corruption and repression, and transformation to the forefront of our collective attention, and we may witness collective karma manifesting through social movements or changes in leadership, and it's pushing us to reflect on our own role within these dynamics. So looking at the ways that we contribute to the karma of power struggles, corruption, manipulation, and changing these behaviours within ourselves. In terms of past life memories related to loss, betrayal, power struggles can come to the surface, and these memories may come through vivid dreams or sudden flashes of insights, and they can shed light on unresolved karmic issues that remain relevant in your life. And as you confront these memories, you can feel prompted to reevaluate your relationships or situations that echo unresolved conflicts from your past lives, allowing for healing and closure. And in addition to personal experiences, you may also notice a resurgence of collective historical memories, or particularly those connected to social injustices or transformations, and this can manifest as heightened awareness or shared struggles, or a sense of interconnection with movements that seek to rectify past wrongs. And by engaging with these resurfaced memories, they can provide valuable insights into your current circumstances and encourage you to actively participate in healing, for yourself and the larger community of humanity at large. So now I'm going to talk about how family relationships, friendship, co-worker, committed couples and hookup relationships, and single and self-partnered relationships are positively and negatively affected when Pluto goes direct. So in terms of family dynamics, we can find that unresolved tensions or hidden issues within our family can come to the surface, pushing us to confront and address them. And this period can push us to self-reflect and transform, encouraging us to redefine relationships based on authenticity and emotional truth. And as we navigate these changes, you might experience a sense of liberation as you let go of outdated patterns that no longer serve you as a family unit. But negatively, you might also encounter resistance from family members who are reluctant to engage in these transformations, and power struggles can emerge, particularly if individuals feel threatened by the changes you seek to make and implement. So it's essential to approach these dynamics with sensitivity and patience, as communication will be key, as well as actively listening and taking time out, respecting boundaries, and choosing your battles wisely and giving up as well wisely, because sometimes people, with all the will in the world, they do not want to change, and the only thing we can change is ourselves, and the only person we're responsible for changing is ourselves. So the key to managing conflicts is try and create understanding, respect other people's beliefs while also asserting your own, and to sort of explore the deeper connections between family healing and collective healing, and allow your family relationships to evolve into healthier, more supportive bonds if you can, and if everyone's willing. In terms of friendships, underlying power dynamics can lead to intense discussions or even a break in some friendships as people reassess their connections and seek more friendships, and you may find that conversations become more profound for some of you, allowing for a deeper understanding and connection with your friends. And this transformative energy can inspire you to engage in authentic conversations conversations, shedding light on previously unspoken feelings or unresolved issues, and those who are willing to embrace vulnerability may understand that their friendships are meant to evolve into more meaningful bonds, creating a sense of loyalty and support that feels revitalizing. Conversely, the intensity of Pluto's direct motion can also lead to conflicts and misunderstandings within your friend circles, and if underlying tensions or unmet expectations have been simmering beneath the surface, as they often do in friendships, right, this energy can push you into confrontations to force you to reassess the dynamics at play, and navigating these difficulties requires a commitment to open communication and a willingness to learn, as some friendships may reveal their true face, and the possibility of dissolution ending them may be the only realistic one, you know. So we have to balance the potential need for intimacy in our relationship with the risk of discord, arguments in our relationships, and just be open to things ending or things deepening. In terms of co-worker relationships, there can be, transformations positively in team dynamics, with some relationships becoming stronger through honesty and others experiencing challenges as individuals, assert their boundaries so people can change. It could be, well, Jim or Jane have done this for 20 years and now they want to change this, and everyone could rely on Jim and Jane to do this, certain thing, and this can kind of set people on edge. We can notice that professional interactions become more charged, pushing for deeper conversations and the revision of roles and responsibilities within our team. It wants us to self-reflect on our kind of like workplace dynamics and reassess our relationships with our colleagues. This can lead to deeper collaboration that are not only more productive but also infused with newfound togetherness, and this can be a good moment to engage in team building activities or open discussions that create a supportive environment. But the intensity of Pluto's energy can stir up existing conflicts or competitive tensions among co-workers, and if there are unresolved issues or unexpressed grievances, this transitional period can push us and your colleagues to confront these matters head on. So it's crucial to navigate any challenges with a willingness to engage in honest, constructive conversations, and by addressing conflicts proactively and productively, you can cultivate, develop a more cohesive, united, resilient workplace atmosphere, ensuring that any changes in relationships ultimately lead to growth rather than diversion. In terms of committed couples, hidden truths can come to the forefront, and issues of control and manipulation can come about, and this can result in intense conversations about personal growth, a deeper level of intimacy, and you may find that this energy positively inspires you to dig into the emotional layers of your partnership, and you and your partner or partners as individuals, creating a space for open conversations, encouraging vulnerability and honesty. And this period can motivate both you and your partner to confront long-standing patterns, enabling you to redefine your goals and aspirations together. And as you embrace the opportunity for transformation, the bonds of intimacy may strengthen, leading to a more cohesive and fulfilling relationships. And Pluto's influence may also bring to the surface underlying tensions or unresolved issues that have lingered beneath the surface, and during this time you could experience moments of discomfort as you both you and your partner navigate challenging discussions or confront personal fears or jealousies, as I said, and manipulations that impact the relationship. And while these challenges can feel overwhelming and daunting and unknown, and you may not want to come out of your comfort zone, addressing them can ultimately lead to a more authentic connection and a deeper understanding of each other's needs. And you will need patience and empathy but the growth that can emerge if you're willing to build a resilience in your partnership can lead to a better and deeper intimacy, and that's what we all want really, is someone to relate to, even if that person is just yourself, you know. So hookup relationships can experience a shake-up, pushing us to seek more meaningful and authentic connections. People may just get disillusioned with them. But for some of you, you may decide to have a conversation, and this can lead to transformation in these relationships, leading to deeper connections and intensify emotions. Some of you may feel a stronger urge for intimacy and authenticity, and this can lead to you making a hookup relationship committed, but negatively, the intensity of the emotions that are stirred up can lead to power struggles, jealousy and control issues with these relationships. So it's essential for you to be clear about what you want, respect other people's boundaries, set clear intentions, and if someone doesn't want to commit to you, you may have to leave if you're the one who wants to stay. And you know, just make sure you communicate directly and openly to make sure that connection stays healthy, and you know, to be honest, don't pretend you want something long term when you just want something short term. In terms of single and self-partnered individuals, this is a time for you to think about your self-worth, independence and future relationship desires. This period pushes for personal growth and empowerment, and those who are self-partnered, you may find this energy really significant for your personal growth and self-awareness. And you know, by taking time to reflect on your own desires, goals and emotional needs, setting time aside for self-reflection, where you can journal, meditate, voice record, voice note yourself, speaking what you want from your life, both in terms of personal growth and potential future relationships, engaging in activities that create self-love and self-discovery, such as pursuing new hobbies, visiting past passions, or even seeking out new experiences that push your comfort zone. This is a good time to examine any patterns or beliefs you hold about relationships and intimacy, and by acknowledging any fears or insecurities that come up, both singles and self-partnered can use this time to cultivate a stronger sense of self-worth. And by understanding and addressing these other aspects of yourself, doing that inner work, you can build a more solid foundation for future connections, whether they be romantic or platonic. And remember that this journey of self-partnership is not only about solitary growth, it's also about preparing yourself to engage in meaningful relationships with others when the time is right. And for those who are single, write down a list of what you want from a new partner. Think about areas of growth within yourself, things you need to change in yourself so you can have healthier relationships as well. Think about your true desires and wants and how you can meet them for yourself. Date yourself, nurture yourself, love yourself, accept yourself, thinking in ways you can become more self-aware and self-loving. So now I'm going to talk about how Pluto going direct influences your career, personal, spiritual and educational development. So in terms of career growth, it allows us to become more empowered in our career and amplifies our ambition, pushing us to go after what we really want with more passion and tap into our inner reserves. And we can find ourselves drawn to leadership roles or innovative projects that align with our deeper goals. And this potential for personal and professional growth is significant, and it wants us to push for taking calculated risks and embarking on new adventures, and it encourages us to assess our professional goals, pushing them to dig deeper into their ambitions and uncover hidden talents. And it sort of can bring opportunities for promotions for some of you, although you may not all get it, as I mentioned earlier. And it wants us to become more resilient with setbacks and have more of a willingness to embrace challenges to our goals and keep them going with the work to achieve our goals. And some of you may find yourself gaining recognition for your hard work or setting up your own side hustle, podcast, content creation, and this can lead to substantial growth in your professional lives, but negatively because control issues and manipulation. It can lead to struggles and bring tension in our professional environments. and you can kind of like encounter a lot of external resistance, as I said, as you go for your advancement and your change, but you know, these intense competition and ethical dilemmas that can come up. You know, it could be, well, you know, Paul's my friend and I've known for 20 years and he wants this promotion, but I really want it. A lot of like that. Try and respect other people's boundaries, but don't dim your light to allow someone else's light to shine. You know, sort of like go for the promotion, and those in charge will make the best sort of like charges. Do not hold yourself back, and you know, adapting to challenges that come up right now in terms of career really causes you to be diplomatic and assertive, and resume and resolve conflicts that get in the way of your career progression in the best way you can. And it won't be all sunshine and rainbows, you know, even though I want to pretend it will, it won't. You may have to make some hard decisions, but navigating these complexities requires a keen sense of awareness and sort of like, you know, of the motivations of yourself and others in the workplace. And if you're able to maintain integrity and focus on constructive change, this will lead to you becoming stronger and having learned these valuable lessons about power dynamics and the importance of teamwork in the workplace. You know, you can reach your goals, but as I said, we can all try and be sunshine and rainbows, but life is not always like that. Sometimes there will be competition, and sometimes we just have to go through what we really want to go for. So in terms of personal development, it wants us to break free from toxic patterns and embrace change for personal evolution as we confront deep-seated issues and face our deepest fears and make the necessary changes that we need. And by confronting our fears and insecurities head-on, and this can lead to breakthroughs in self-awareness and emotional healing, and it can reveal hidden aspects of ourselves, pushing us to honestly evaluate our personal values and life goals. And as we embrace these revelations, we can find ourselves cultivating a stronger sense of identity and purpose, and this can lead to, you know, enriched relationships and a more authentic life path and authentic self-expression. But negatively, this self-reflection can lead to uncovering hidden truths about yourself, and you may not like that, and you know, it calls for us to shed old patterns that no longer serve our personal development, and we can get used to the personal development tools or any other tools we've been using and get out of our comfort zone, as I said. And we may not want to do that, you know, and the intensity of these changes that Pluto brings to us can be overwhelming for some of us as the buried emotions and past traumas come up, and we may feel kind of you know, I don't want to change. You know, you may have that thought and you may stubbornly resist change as well. Also, you know, change is scary. By engaging with your inner thoughts and feelings and identifying patterns that no longer serve you, making the way for healthier habits and attitudes, you know, can really be healthy for you. And this self-examination can spur a willingness to embrace change and develop resilience and flexibility in face of new challenges. This transformational experience not only increases personal growth, but also can lead to enriched connections with others as you become more empathetic and in tune to the needs of those around you. So now I'm going to talk about the effects of Pluto Direct on your spiritual development. So as I said, it encourages us to dig into our subconscious, confront our fears and release what no longer serves us spiritually, and these intense internal struggles unearth buried emotions and, you know, us wanting to challenge our belief systems can really, you know, shake us to the core, as I said. But going within, although it may bring about power struggles or feelings of being overwhelmed, can really help our spiritual evolution for the better. So doing things such as journaling, meditation, you know, Tai Chi, Reiki, whatever tools you're into to help you stay more grounded can really help you at this time as well. And although this time can be really destabilizing for some of you because you feel overwhelmed, and you know, this can manifest as power struggles within and externally and lead to emotional, psychological and spiritual upheaval and feelings of being out of control. You know, it's important to just be gentle with yourself and practice self-care and grounding techniques, and seek support from healthy spiritual leaders and communities if needed as well. And ultimately, you know, the influence of transiting Pluto Direct is really significant for spiritual evolution for those who are open to its transformative energies. So now I'm going to talk about Pluto's effect on educational development. So it encourages us to dig into the depths of our knowledge and skills, encourages a thorough assessment or reassessment of your academic goals and learning approaches, which can lead to a more profound understanding of subjects that resonate with passions. And as students confront their limitations and explore new methodologies, they may uncover hidden talents or areas of interest that were previously overlooked. And this process, you know, fosters great resilience and adaptability, which are crucial, you know, to be flexible for our personal growth and success in our educational sort of like goals. But negatively, there can be power struggles and resistance to change and disruptions in our educational systems, and this can lead to challenges such as lack of motivation, difficulty adapting to new learning environments, or issues with authority. And collectively it can lead to shifts in educational paradigms, inspiring reforms that emphasise critical thinking, emotional intelligence and holistic learning, which is well needed in our world right now. And as individuals advocate for changes that align with their values, they can contribute to a broader movement that redefines educational systems, making them more inclusive and representative of diverse perspectives. And you know, this transformative phase not only enhances personal growth but also our educational journeys, and it also promotes a climate of innovation, growth, and enriching the learning experience for all. So now I'm going to talk about the best activities for creatives, professionals, entrepreneurs, alternative healers, lovers, single and self-partnered people to do when Pluto goes direct out of retrograde. So creatives can benefit from exploring new artistic mediums or techniques to expand their creative horizons. Professionals and entrepreneurs can find it beneficial to reassess their goals and strategies to align with inner transformations. Alternative healers can focus on self-care practices and energy work to support their own well-being. Lovers can deepen their emotional connections through open communication and quality time together. Singles can use this period for self-reflection and personal development, and self-partnered people can embrace their independence and focus on self-love and empowerment during this time. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the questions you can ask yourself during the months Pluto are direct. So you can ask yourself if your current financial goals align with your long-term values and goals, reflecting on whether your spending habits support your overall well-being, and if there are any changes you could make to create a more stable financial future. Emotionally, you can dig into how you've been processing and expressing your feelings. Are there any unresolved emotions that need attention? Consider if you're nurturing healthy relationships that uplift you and bring emotional fulfillment into your life. On a spiritual level, you can reflect on your connection to the universe or higher power, asking yourself, are you engaging in practices that nourish your soul and deepen your spiritual beliefs? Explore if you are living in alignment with your spiritual values, and if there are ways to enhance your spiritual journey further, digging into activities that bring you a sense of peace and purpose, guiding you towards greater self-awareness energies and connection to the divine. Psychologically, you can examine your thought patterns and beliefs, asking yourself, are there any limiting beliefs or behaviours that are holding you back from reaching your full potential? Evaluate how you respond to challenges and stressors in your environment, challenges, and seek opportunities for growth and resilience by looking at obstacles as things to learn to navigate rather than things to avoid. And you can consider how your physical well-being aligns with your overall lifestyle habits. You can ask yourself, are you prioritising self-care, love, respect, forgiveness, and nurturing your body with healthy choices? And by reflecting on areas where you can increase your physical, spiritual, emotional health, whether it be through meditation, exercise, relaxation practices, engaging in improving your nutrition, and by integrating these reflections across your financial, emotional, spiritual, psychological and physical lives, this can lead to a more balanced and fulfilled existence. So now I'm just going to finish up by talking about the self-care rituals that you could do when Pluto's direct. So as I mentioned, meditate, journal. This can help you tap into Pluto's energy of rebirth and renewal. Practicing self-reflection and letting go of what no longer serves you can be really beneficial at this time. Also spending time in nature, getting plenty of rest, as I said, nurturing physical, emotional and spiritual areas of your life can help you align with powerful energies associated with Pluto going direct. And by prioritising self-care rituals, you can use the transformative energy of Pluto to make positive changes in your life and to love on yourself. So yeah, that's the end of my very in-depth analysis of Pluto going direct. Dare to transform is the message. Dare to be you. Dare to make the changes even though they are overwhelming and scary, and you will meet many obstacles, but your authentic self deserves it. Your inner child deserves it. Do not be afraid of your shadow or weaknesses, and taking care of your own needs instead of expecting everyone else on the external world to meet them. It's good when other people meet our needs, and yes, if we decide to go into a relationship with someone, they should meet our needs, but this is when choosing the right friends and life partner becomes really, really important. So yeah, thanks for listening. I'm Amani, your holistic, astrological, karmic life coach. Take care and see you next time.